Okay, today's exercise is to rivet this interplane strut to this compression strut. The wings have all been levelled, and there's 4 of them, they've been levelled and on the right angles and right amount of sweep and all that sort of stuff. That's all done. They're the right distance apart, and now we need to attach this piece to this piece. Now, if you saw the video the other day, I showed you how to put blind rivets in, but there was one thing I didn't actually show you, which I'm going to try and correct that down. But today's exercise hopefully will be a lot shorter than the other day. That was ridiculous. And the other thing is, it should be, with any luck, it should be a little bit more practical. So bear with me, let's see how we go. Okay, we've got 2 things here. We've got the manual that tells you what rivets, or it explains here that it wants 4 3/16 by 1/4 inch AVEX rivets on each side of the compression tube. This is the compression tube, this is the interplane strut. So 4 rivets down here at the bottom wing, 4 rivets here on the top wing, and same on the other side of that tube. So there's actually 8 rivets hold that compression tube to the interplane strut, and there's 8 rivets down this end. So 16 rivets per side, 32 rivets altogether. Okie doke. Now, if you've come that far and you can still see it, here's the actual parts list. This is the parts list. There's all sorts of things, bolts and cables and ribs and all sorts of things. But here's the page relevant to rivets. And we come down here to 3/16 by 1/4 AVEX. I should have started off with 600 of them. They shipped 600 of them, and I actually received 600 of them. So that's pretty good going. Now, if we have a look at this, this is the bag that it came in, and it was part number 3/16 by 1/4 AVEX, because there are 3/16 by 1/4 stainless as well. This is not stainless, this is AVEX. So this one, it should be RV1613, and look at that, just happens to be RV1613. 600 of them, but this is all I've got left. I need, what do we come up with? 32 or something. There's at least 32 there, so I'm happy I've got enough rivets, plus this one. Okay, so before we go throwing them in, there is another concept that I need to get across. Let's have a look at that. Alright, we're going to do a little simulation here. These are the drills that we're going to use. This is a pretend compression strut. It's obviously an offcut from something else, but it's obviously a pretend one. Here's our interplane strut, pretend, and we're going to rivet one of those onto the other. Okay, so we clamp them, get some clamps happening here. Yeah, clamp these up nice and firmly. It's where I'm going to drill is hopefully in the middle of the tube. I've actually drawn a line on the tube. You may be able to see it, you may not. A red line there. Okay, if I can see that through the hole, that'll be good for me. We'll put it up this way. There. Okay. So we're going to put our rivet about there somewhere. Like always, I like to sneak up on these. I don't like to drill full size. We would normally start off with a 3/32 or number 40 drill. Yeah, I know, it's a lot to remember. Okay. We can put this in here. Remember these things, the Clecos? Yeah, remember the colour thing from the other day? The silver ones, then these coppery coloured ones, or bronze. These ones actually are the next size up. These ones are the next size up from that. They're actually meant to be, I think, a brass colour, but these are old and rusted and all sorts of things. So I've just cleaned the top of them up so I can tell the difference between those two. They look similar to me. Yeah, they're actually not, because one's much bigger on this end. This is a much bigger one than this. All right, but anyway, I've got those ones. Pliers usually live in my back pocket, like always. We'll put our pretend pieces together. We can sort of do it this way. Yeah, that'll hold. That's the end of the, hopefully you can see that, the end of the Cleco down there. When you press it, they ramp up and the two legs come together and it'll fit through the hole. Pretty simple. But we're going to get another concept coming across here in a minute. I'm not doing this for fun. Okay. That's pretty much in the right place. Do our other hole. Could use a Cleco, or we just change drill sizes and step up to the next size, which would be more sensible. This is a 1/8, or this is a number 30 drill for a 1/8 rivet, except we're not putting a 1/8 rivet, we're putting a 3/16 rivet, much bigger. Okay, there's the 1/8 one, there's the 3/32 one. We'll take it out and we'll open it up to 1/8. This is pretty rough. I normally work a little bit better than this, but for the purposes of this exercise, that's fine. Now we work up to the next size. On that, I'm not going to do this. I'll drill a smaller one and then open it up slightly. It just works a bit better for me. This is number 11, which is the correct size for the rivet, but I would probably drill one size smaller and then open it up to number 11. At the end of the day, I'm going to wind up with a number 11. Number 11 fits in that first hole pretty neatly. And it should also be, so now we've got 3/16 Cleco, which is really quite big. That's really quite a big Cleco. I think they come in 1/4 inch as well. You know, if you're building Boeing or something, you're probably going to need that. This is as big as we go to. Right, so our 3/16 rivet should now fit in that hole, that number 11 hole that we drilled, and I'm sure if we wiggled it around, there it is, it does fit in. Okay. However, we talked about this the other day. You can't just squeeze it up now, because on the inside, these holes are going to look pretty rough. Oops, can't take that one out. Yeah, especially those parts there, can't easily be pulled apart again. And even if you could, and you could pull them apart, and we get our deburring tool, and we deburr the holes, rip, beautiful. Turn it over, maybe do the other ones, no worries, beautiful. We might be able to do these outside ones, which they don't really need too much doing. But how do we do the inside? And I don't know. I'm going to have to come around and drive the camera, because if you look in that hole, let's see where we are. If we look in that hole, if I stuck my finger in there, I think it'd probably come out bleeding. There are chips inside that hole that are attached to the tube, which won't allow the rivet to set properly. So I'll show you how to take care of those. Let's have a look. I'll have to talk from behind because I need to be able to see what I'm doing. This piece is really just a piece of metal or a nail or whatever that's been sharpened on the end, on this face, the face that faces. I've just got it in a chuck in a drill. I'm not going to plug the drill in. I'm going to use it by hand. But if we feed this in through the hole, so it now sits inside there. Yeah, we can turn it around very carefully and take the burr off the inside of the tube. Now all of the holes in my aeroplane are done this way. It's tedious, yes, but now if I stick my finger in there, well, at the moment it'll be perfect. Okay, so there you go, simple as that. We're not going to waste too much time. Now we're going to go and actually set some rivets in the aeroplane, see how we go. Let's try and get you back where we started. I'm only going to show 4 rivets, don't panic. We're not going to build the whole aeroplane. And we'll just do these 4 that are relatively easy for me to get at. Yeah, there, I'll give you some light. That should be hopefully a little bit better. Yep, that's a bit better. I'll actually get it up so that you can see what I'm talking about, hopefully. Now I'll take these out in steps. This is 11/64, I think, which is just under 3/16. The rivets are essentially 3/16 rivets. Take that out. The objective is to be 90 degrees to this surface and basically pointed towards the centre of the tube, so about there. Beautiful. Okay, that's too small. That isn't the final size that I want. But it should be big enough to put a cleco, one of these big clecos in there. Yeah, that's a nice firm fit. And we'll do the one next to it. We'll work our way along. Again, 90 degrees to this, and about towards the centre of the tube, this tube. change up to the number 11 drill, which I've got a standard jobber length drill here, number 11, and we'll work our way back. This is the final size. Yeah, took virtually nothing off. A few tenths of a millimetre, a few thousandths of an inch. It's not very much. That can go in there. And there. And there. Right. Now we can clean these up. Won't take very much to take. There's not much of a burr on the outside. Use this tool that I made up to deburr the inside of the tube. So we fit that in there. Give it a few turns with it more or less in the same direction as these. You don't want it up here or down there or across here. No, more or less in the same direction. Now I can fairly much guarantee that that hole's deburred on the inside, which is what we wanted. Then, moving right along, I'll just do one and show you. I'm not gonna, there's no need to do all of them. No need to show how I do all of them. Put our special pressure regulator on there. Okay, we've got our rivet tool. You might see the end. It will come out, but it's as slow as a wet week. There it is, appearing now. This thing on the back just collects the rivet tails. And you can turn it so that it doesn't tip them out. This is the rivet, the, what was it, 3/16 by quarter, Avex rivet. And just to introduce something new, remember I said there was a jointing compound to prevent galvanic corrosion? Probably not strictly necessary on this particular type of rivet, but hey, I'm using it. I've used it on all the others. It's a barium chromate. Believe it or not, this came from a sort of like a Radio Shack type shop. Now that should go in there without too much trouble. And, oopsie, that's the hardest part of learning to be a surgeon, is not to say oops. But, okay, so there's our rivet gun. Actually, we might have a little bit more pressure here. That's a bit better. And you can pull that rivet up. Get it nice and firm against the surface, and come on, there you go. Come on. That would be very, very tricky to do by hand. And hopefully our rivet tail popped out the back there. We go ahead and do the others the same. Deburr them. Take them out to full size. Well, they are full size. All right, one more and that's it, okay? obviously just, did I not take that out to full size? Oh, bugger. Let's do that. Let's use the battery drill. I think they were out to full size. They're not. This one. Now we need to deburr the inside again. Simple as that. Doesn't take much. Rivet still covered. Come over this way. Push it hard in. There we go. Right. Same as before. This one. I'm going to do all these, but I'm not going to show you. Hopefully, I'll just show you the better ones. Of course, I could crank the air pressure up, which would do this a bit quicker, but there's no urgency. It's pulling. Okay, rivet tails have been captured in the back here. Alright, lucky last. I'll give you a look at the close-up of that in a minute. Come on. Let's crank the air pressure a little bit more here. Right about there. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's it. I'll go ahead and do the others. But it's just a repeat of that. They're all sitting down pretty well. No problem at all. This one's called Duralac. It's there's also one called Mastinox, which is the same thing. I think its solvent is kerosene. So I'll just, there's a little tiny bit there. I'll clean that off with kerosene now. Just, whoops. Just normal everyday household kerosene. If you let it dry on there, it will go hard and then it's difficult to get off. But there we go. That's there forever now. Once these are done, then I've got some other fairings that I need to make that go from here or from here somewhere down to there, and they give it extra strength. That's as strong as anything now. There's no way that's going to budge anywhere. But it's got to do this for year after year after year. That's it. Simple as that. The jobs are really not difficult. It's just that there's lots and lots and lots and lots of them. They don't stop. The jobs don't stop. They just keep on coming. The other day I was making cables. Today I'm doing some riveting. Every day is something different. That's it. Thank you very much for watching.